All right. Let's chat. Any questions? Do y'all have any homework questions? Anything? All right. Nothing? Nothing from the homework? All right. So let's look at what we're looking at today. All right. We are going to be talking about equations. So humor me for a second. Let's say that I'm just making something up. All right. Why are you not writing? Okay. So let's say I have something like race. Okay. Say I have like x squared minus 9, right? Just making it up. So this right here is an expression. So if I say like factor the expression or whatever, like this is what I'm talking about. But now let's say I had x squared minus 9 equals 0. You see how I put that equal sign there? Now that is an equation, all right? So that's the difference between an expression and an equation. Hey, how you doing? All right? That's the difference between the two. Questions about that? We good? All right. So what I want to get into today, this is called polynomial equations, right? So a polynomial equation is an equation that contains a polynomial expression, right? The degree of the polynomial equation is the degree of the polynomial, all right? So humor me for a second. All right. So we are now going to solve, right, polynomial equations of degree 2. A polynomial equation of degree 2 is called a quadratic equation, right? So here's some examples of quadratic equations like x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0, or 3y squared plus 4y equals 10, or 64u squared minus 81 equals 0, or n times n plus 1 equals 42, right? A quadratic equation is an equation of the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. That's called a quadratic equation. A, B, and C are real numbers, and A cannot equal 0. That's important, right? So we're going to talk about how to solve those. But before that, all right, I'm going to give y'all the big lesson for today. Because the rest of this is just going to sound like a repeat after this one lesson. All right. This is the sauce right here. I don't even think it's on the formula sheet. So make sure y'all remember this right here. This is called the zero product property. All right. Zero product property. This is big news right here. Big news. All right. So check this out. If A times B is equal to 0, then either A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0, or both of them is 0. That's deep. All right. So I have two things multiplied to each other. One of them or both of them got to be 0. All right. We can remember this? All right, cool. Once you know that, the rest of the class is light work. Today's class, I mean, not the whole class. All right? So check this out. I'm gonna use that same idea right here. Right? Oh, I'm sorry, you were copying my fault. Yeah. So we're gonna use the same idea right here. So we want to solve 5n minus 2 times 6n minus 1 is equal to 0. All right? Very simply, you're just going to set both of those terms equal to 0, solve for n. You got two answers. That's the end of the problem. All right? I'm going to show you how to solve for n real quick. So this is how I like to do it. I like to split it down the middle like so, right? And then I do 5n minus 2 is equal to 0. And then 6n minus 1 is equal to 0, right? You set them both equal to 0. Solve for n. So I'm going to add 2 over here. And you know what I do to one side of the equation, I got to do to the other side of the equation, right? So then now I have 5n is equal to 2. And then I'm going to divide by 5. But what you know what I do to one side of the equation, I got to do to the other side of the equation. So that means that n1 is equal to 2 over 5. No problem. On the other side now, I'm going to add 1 over here. But you know what I do to one side of the equation? I got to do the other side of the equation. So now I have 6n is equal to 1. And then I want to divide by 6 to get n by itself. But you know what I do to one side of the equation? I got to do to the other side of the equation, right? Boom, right? So now I have that n2 is equal to 1 over 6. That's it. Any questions on this? No, that's it. You solve for n. All right. I'm gonna let you guys try one. It's a little bit harder, but I feel like y'all could do it. All right. There you go. Give it a try. Polynomial. Give that a try also. All right, let's see for the first one, right? What is M1? I got 2/3. Very good. And what is M2? -1/2. Perfect. Any questions on this? Anybody? No questions? All right, sounds good. All right, a little bit harder. How about the second one, right? What do we get for P1? We get 3/4. Very good. What about P2? +3/4. Perfect. Any questions on this? Anybody? Good. All right. See, y'all got the sauce now. Y'all got the sauce. So let's take it up a notch, right? Not really, but kind of, sort of. So now we want to solve quadratic equations by factoring. All right. So the zero product property works very nicely to solve quadratic equations. The quadratic equation must be factored with zero isolated on one side. So we must be sure to start with the quadratic equation standard form. What standard form? Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Then we factor the expression on the left, solve it for 0, and we're good to go. Let's try it out. Let's try it out. First off, this equation here is not in standard form. I got to put everything on one side and set it equal to 0. So, step one, I'm going to subtract this 13y over here, right, to put it on the other side. But what I do to one side, I got to do to the other. You might be wondering, right? Why didn't I just subtract the 2y squared and put on the other side? I don't like negative numbers, not even in my bank account, right? So that's why I want to keep that positive. And then that's going to be equal to 45, right? So now we're going to subtract 45 over here. What we do to one side, we do to the other. Right? So now what do I have? I got 2y squared minus 13y minus 45 is equal to 0, right? Now we want to factor it. Very simple. Just use the AC method. Nothing crazy, right? So, well, first off, I look at it, I have no GCF. So now I can use the AC method, right? So we're going to do A times C, right? Which is what? That's the 2 times the -45. Call that -90, right? And then our B term is what? -13. So now this is a little bit hard. I need two numbers that when I multiply them together, right, will give me a -90. But when I subtract them, will give me a -13. Let's work it out. Let's work it out, right? So let's say if I want to do 1 times -90. All right, that's -90. But when I do 1 plus -90, that's -89. That's not 13. So I know that's not going to work. Let's try 2. How about 2 times -45? All right, that's -90, right? But 2 plus -45? That's like -43. That's not going to help me. 18? All right, let me see. 18 times what? Times 5? All right, so let's say 5 times -18. Let's see what we get. All right, 25, 30, 35, 40. There's 0, 4 up. Yep, that's -90, right? And then if I do 5 plus -18, let's see what that is. That's -13. Perfect. Good job, right? So now that I have my two numbers, right, I replace my B term, right? So I have 2y squared, but instead of me writing a -13y, I'm going to write plus 5y minus 18y, right? That's the two numbers that I found over here, right? And of course, minus 45 equals 0. right? It doesn't matter the order that you write those numbers in, you'll still get the same answer regardless, right? I literally just wrote 5y minus 18y because that's the order that I heard the numbers in. That's it, all right? Now, what you want to do, split them down the middle, right? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So we're going to factor by grouping. Group the first two terms together. What do they have in common? This is a 2y squared plus 5y. What do they have in common? What is it? Y, right? So I'm going to factor out a y. Remember, when you factor out a y, it's like you're dividing by y. It's like you're dividing by y, right? What's left over? 2y plus 5. Perfect. Now I'm on the right-hand side. I have negative 18y minus 45, right? What's the greatest common factor there? What is it? No, I didn't hear you. Say it again. Huh? 18? No, it's 9, right? That's good. Give me a better answer, though. Huh? Negative 9. Very good. All right. Remember, the sign of your leading coefficient is the sign of your factor, right? So I'm going to factor out a negative 9 here, factor out negative 9 here. All right. So negative 18y divided by negative 9 is what? 2. Say it again. 2y. Very good, right? So that's 2y. Oh, why are you not writing? Now you're like doubling it up. What's going on? Okay. And negative 45 divided by negative 9 is good. Plus 5. And of course, that equals 0, right? All right. One second. Everything is just like messing up. All right. Anyway, greatest common factor one more time, right? Between the two. What the heck? All right. Greatest common factor between the two terms right here. They both have what in common? Perfect, right? So I'm going to factor out a 2y plus 5. Remember, when you factor out a 2y plus 5, it's like you're dividing by 2y plus 5. Like you're dividing by 2y plus 5, right? And then what's left over? Perfect. Y minus 9, and then that's equal to 0. Now, all you have to do, split them down the middle, set both of them equal to 0. So I got what? 2y plus 5 is equal to 0. And I have y minus 9 is equal to 0. Just solve for y. Nice and simple. Subtract 5 from over here. What we do to one side, we do to the other. So I have 2y is equal to negative 5. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So I have y is equal to, y1 is equal to negative 5 over 2. On this side, you're going to add 9. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. So we have y2 is equal to 9. These are my answers. A little comma there. Any questions on this? So long story short, factor it, set both of the factors equal to 0, solve for the variable. Are we good? AC method is on your formula sheet though. All right, so you don't got to memorize it. Doo, doo, doo. That's not bad. Okie dokie. You guys try. I make it big. Ooh. Well, that's fine. When you're done, try this. All right, all right. What did we get for the first one? What's C1? Okay. Everybody agree or no? Anybody want to see it done? Okay. All right. So we have 3c squared, right, is equal to 10c minus 8. Remember, you want to put everything on one side, right? So I'm going to subtract the 10c from over here. If I do to one side, I got to do to the other. So now, hang on. Now I got 3c squared minus 10c is equal to negative 8. Then you're going to add 8 over here. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Right? So 3c squared minus 10c plus 8 is equal to 0. After that, little AC method and you're good to go, right? 8 times c is equal to 3 times 8. Let's call that 24, right? And my b term is negative 10. All right. So now I need two numbers that when I multiply them together will give me a positive 24, but when I add them together will give me a negative 10. What are they? Negative 2 and negative 12, right? So negative 2 times negative 12, that is positive 24. And negative 2 plus negative 12, that's negative 14. So not that one. Give me two more. Negative 4, negative 6, right? So negative 4 times negative 6, that's going to give me a positive 24. And negative 4 plus negative 6, that's a negative 10. Perfect. That's the one, right? So now rewrite what you have. Instead of 3c squared minus 10c plus 8, we're going to have 3c squared minus 4c minus 6c plus 8 is equal to 0. So I'm replacing the 10c with the negative 4c and a negative 6c. Split them down the middle. Greatest common factor on the left-hand side. What do they have in common? They both have the letter C in common, right? So I'm factoring out a C. Remember, it's like you're dividing by C. It's like you're dividing by C. 3c squared divided by C is just going to give you a 3c minus 4. On the right-hand side, I have negative 6c plus 8. What do they both have in common? 2? Good. Give me a better answer. Negative 2. There we go, right? So remember, it's like you're dividing by negative 2. It's like you're dividing by negative 2, right? So negative 6c divided by negative 2 give you a positive 3c. Positive 8 divided by 2 is a negative 4, right? Equals 0. Greatest common factor one more time. I have 3c minus 4, right? And then what's left over? The c minus 2 equals 0. Set both of these equal to 0, right? 3c minus 4 equals 0 and c minus 2 equals 0. Just solve for c. I'm going to add 4 over here. Where I do to one side, do to the other. So 3c is equal to 4. Divide by 3, divide by 3. So c1 is equal to 4 over 3. I'm going to add 2 over here. Where I do to one side, do to the other. So c2 is equal to positive 2. And that's it. A little comma right there. Any questions on it? I know I went kind of fast with that. You guys get the idea? All right, just factor it, set the factors equal to 0, and that's it. Mhm. How about question two? Did y'all have a chance to try that? Good. All right. So what's D1? Hmm? What is it? Three? Okay. And then what's D2? -1/2. Okay. Questions on this, anybody? Y'all feel good? All right. Let's look at another one. This is a lot easier, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna look harder because of the variable, but it's okay though. I've been practicing my cues, so it shouldn't be too bad. By the way, let's take a little commercial break, right? Did y'all hear that Derrick Rose was on campus? Yeah, yeah. You're doing something. They shoot something on campus. I didn't get to see him. Did y'all see him? Yeah. Huh? Derrick Rose. He used to be on the Knicks like a long time ago. Old basketball player. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I missed him, but mhm. Yeah. They got something that they doing over here. That's why you see all that stuff happen over there by Meister and whatnot. Yeah. All right, so we got 169 q squared is equal to 49, right? I know this looks crazy, but I promise you it's not. Watch this. I'm gonna subtract 49 from over here because I want to get everything on one side, right? But what I do to one side of the equation, I gotta do to the other side of the equation. So I'm gonna subtract 49 from over here. So now what do I have? I have 169, right? Q squared minus 49 is equal to 0. Now look at this. This is the difference of two perfect squares. Light work, right? So you remember, right? One is going to be positive, one is going to be negative, right? This is going to be what? 13Q, 13Q, 7 and 7. One positive, one negative. Done. It's factored. All right? Difference of two perfect squares. Now, all you got to do, same thing we just been doing from day one, right? For today. 13Q plus 7 is equal to 0. Just solve for Q. I'm going to subtract 7 from over here where I do to one side, do to the other. So I got 13Q is equal to -7. Divide by 13, which you do to one side, you do to the other. So Q1 is equal to -7/13. What happened? Where did I get 13? So 13 times 13 is 169. It's a perfect square. So this is the difference of two perfect squares. Hmm? It's an easy factor. You just basically figure out which two numbers multiply to give you the first term. In this case, that would be 13Q squared. And which two numbers multiply to themselves to give you the second term, and that's just 7 squared, right? And then you just write them in the boxes, right? And then you just put a plus sign in one, a minus sign in the other, and you're done. That's how you factor this. And then for the other side, 13Q minus 7 equals 0. I'm going to add 7. What you do to one side, you do to the other. 13Q is equal to +7. Divide by 13. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Q2 is 7/13. And that's it. That's it. That's the whole problem. Questions on this? Hmm? Yeah, one of them is positive, one of them is negative. Yeah. Not too bad, right? All right, let me let y'all try some. There you go. Try that out. Nah, no board meeting tonight. And then when you finish with that, try this out. You can use your calculators, by the way, to figure out if they're perfect squares or not. That's fine. Seniors out there. We're gonna tell you one time.
Seniors too many seconds.
All right, and how many sophomores are
We
there?
don't see it in school.
All right, and now how many students have both seniors and sophomores at the same time? So let's add those two, subtract 0, and 2. Always put over it until 12:59.
Okay, and then for this one, it's a senior and biology.
Yeah,
So I put, okay, P of A plus P of B minus.
so all the seniors plus all the biology minus both.
So messing me up is. So it's 14.
Subtract 13. Yeah. And then that's it.
Just like,
The number is like it's negative 4. Doesn't matter. You still get the same answer.
so the given is always on the back. So
Right, whatever's after the given is your denominator. So it's junior given nurses. So out of all the nursing people, how many of them are juniors?
70.
Yeah, so 79 over 321. That's it.
It's not gonna be 300.
Like 321.
But if it's given, isn't that what goes on the bottom?
Whatever comes after the given is your denominator. Who's done? Who's done? Yo, y'all didn't get a chance to ask question for Thursday. Because what's the big deal?
No, for real. He was like, oh, around the time deadline, I'll see with classes like literally his words, verbatim. With classes like this, you have to be done at a certain time. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the semester finishes on Thursday.
He got time to do all of his paperwork and
And he's been missing at least once a fucking thing every week.
for
We
real.
don't have class on Fridays, so he usually lets us skip on Wednesdays. Bro, he sucks.
I need to do that.
What? Most probability of being a nursing major, given so being a junior would be on
Right.
so 300,
So out of all the juniors, how many of them are nursing majors?
79.
Right, so 79 over 300. That's it. Mm-hmm. Thursday. All right, so let's take a look. What's P1? -7/5. Good. And what's P2? 7/5. All right. Questions on this? Oh, okay. How about this one? Right? What's X1? Very good. What's x2? Very good. I'm impressed. Questions on this? Anybody? You good? All right. Oh, now that we're done with the hard stuff, let's get on to the easy stuff. Do, 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 do. All right. So here's this question. All right. It might look crazy, but real talk, it's the same question that we did from before, right? All you're gonna do, distribute, combine like terms, put everything on one side, factor, set the factors equal to 0, and we're done. Light work, right? So let's try it out. So I got 3x times x, that's gonna give me a 3x squared. I got 3x times -1. That's going to give me a -3x. I have -8 times x. It's going to give me a -8x. Then I have a -8 times a -1. It's going to give me a +8. And all of that is equal to 3x over here, right? Combine like terms, what do I have? I have 3x squared minus, what's that? 9, 10, 11, something like that, 11x plus 8 is equal to 3x. After that, I'm going to subtract 3x from over here. Where I do to one side, I do to the other. So now let's look at what I have. I have 3x squared minus 14x plus 8 is equal to 0. Easy, right? Little AC method, right? A times C. This is going to be what? 3 times 8. Let's call that like what? 24, something like that, right? And then my B term is -14. Now I need two numbers that when I multiply them together will give me a -14, but when I add them together, when I multiply them together, will give me a 24, positive 24. But when I add them together, will give me a -14. What are they? What is it? 15 and what? Okay. -2 times -12. Let me see. Let me verify. Yeah, that is 24. -2 plus -12. Yep, that's -14. That's perfect, right? So now let's rewrite what we have here. This is going to be 3x squared, but instead of the -14x, I'm going to write -2x minus 12x plus 8. It does not matter which order you write the middle numbers in, you'll still get the right answer, right? I'm lazy. I heard 2 and 12, so then I wrote down 2 and 12 in that order. Right? After that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So we're going to factor by grouping. I'm going to group them by drawing a line down the middle. All right. On my left-hand group, I have 3x squared minus 2x. What do both of these terms have in common? X, right? So I'm going to factor out of x. Remember, anytime you factor out of x, it's like you're dividing by x. It's like you're dividing by x, right? So the x and the square will cancel out, leaving back just what? Leaving back just 3x, right? And then x and x cancels out over here, leaving back -2. A little bit harder on the right-hand side. What do they both have in common? -4. Very good, right? So remember, it's like you're dividing by -4, like you're dividing by -4, right? So -12 divided by -4 is going to give me a positive 3x. A positive 8 divided by -4 is going to give me a -2. And of course, that's all equal to 0. Greatest common factor one more time. What do both of these terms have in common? They both have 3x minus 2, right? Remember, anytime you factor out the 3x minus 2, it's like you're dividing by 3x minus 2. Like you're dividing by 3x minus 2, right? So let's see what's left over. X minus 4. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Equals 0, of course, right? And then all you want to do is just set these both equal to 0, and that's it. So I have 3x minus 2 is equal to 0, and I have x minus 4 is equal to 0. So we're just going to add 2 over here. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So I have 3x is equal to positive 2. I'm going to divide by 3. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. So x1 is equal to 2 over 3. And then on the right-hand side, this is a little bit harder. I have x minus 4 equals 0, so I'm going to add 4 over here to get rid of that negative 4. But what I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other side of the equation. I'm going to add 4 over here. So now I have x is equal to 4. So x2 is equal to 4. These are my answers. That's it. Questions on this, anybody? Not too bad, right? Looks a little jumbled, but it's not too bad. Let me let y'all try one. Bless you, bless you. This one's going to be a little bit harder because the variable is m instead of x. That's fine. No, don't sign on this. We'll sit. You got time. Oh, yeah. I'll call you up in a minute. Try this out real quick. I get some stuff done. Andrew here? Andrew?
Yeah,
That sucks. Sean not here. John not here either, right? Um, Kendrick. Where Kendrick at? Come up.
what was the biggest
Come up.
score in the game?
Hmm? Huh?
What was the highest possible score you could get?
100.
And I had
Not bad.
that's so bad.
Selena, come here.
So that's now.
Just a really good job. Yeah, really good job. Deshaun. Deshaun. Oh, that looks good job. Well, yo, good luck. All right. Yo,
I did actually go to the insurance and shopping.
um, if it's crowded tomorrow, just like want to call me or something, then I'll come and see.
You know damn well he ain't gonna.
No, I mean in 2 days I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Sean, right?
Yeah, I'll tell him. Yeah. Actually take a few, about a week.
You can say, all right, yeah. You can say.
What's your email? Well, it's me.
It's in there.
Yeah. I'll help you.
You can reply back to one of the messages that I sent you or whatever.
Where?
On Bright Space. It's there too. You don't see the class on Bright Space?
Oh, yeah.
What is your name? I'm sorry. Actually, not you. Sorry. Do you have the pulse app on? white space pulse, PULSE. I was gonna say you could download that, and every time I send you a message, it'll pop up. Every 6 months or so, they make you update the password and all that nonsense too.
Yeah, I updated it. Still haven't logged in.
Staring down to me, so you watching.
Nice. Thanks for calling.
Actually, I mean, not gonna lie, I was expecting better. Should visit tutoring.
Wait, wait.
I know, visit tutoring, all right? They open every day from 12 to 6. Mhm. All right, Sasha, come. So, you just sign in. That's
Yeah. But you said you sent me chat. Should do that.
probably like in, if you look at such points, I would like one of those under some points. I gotta update it. That's my final thing.
The last one.
I will let you down on the first one. Scroll down to the bottom. It says, oh, serious.
Really? Yeah.
So if you take it to tutoring and then you get it all correct and bring it back, I give you half the points back in this.
The first one.
Yeah, first versus. There's another one. Open up another tab. And you go to PCC. I'm gonna show you how you can look up any line. ECC.3. All right. Right. See, should be this crystal three dot. It's missing sheet. Top crystal third dot. Maybe 02 at BCC.2. BCC.
Thank you.
Also, if you do the homework, scroll down, you have like a question on a particular question. Is it, you know,
Yeah.
same thing, helps students want.
Thank you.
Jardine. Yeah. There's no homework. On the homework?
No, no.
Yeah.
It's just great.
That's it. This is one of the best grades in class. I'm gonna tell you about it. So, where Christian at? Christian Rodriguez not here. Good job, man. Good job. Yeah. Kelvin, come through. Oh, wow. My man. Ty not here. Andrew not here. Sean to the back. All right. So here's the deal, right? You take your exam to tutoring, get it all 100% right. I mean, no mistakes, right? Bring it back to me, and I'll give you back half the points that you missed, right? So let's say you got like a 99, like some people, right? Then you'll get like half a point back for doing that. Right? But real talk, if you're wondering whether you scored good or not, like if you did like a 40 or better, you good, you know? But less than a 40, like we gotta chat, you know? It's not the end of the world. If you got less than a 40, you can still get an A in the class, right? But we gotta the way that you studied for this one, we just gotta switch that up. Something didn't go right, you know? Hmm. It's okay. Not with me. Anybody else but me. So when it comes to tutoring, right, you can go to any tutor you want, not me. All right. For the test corrections, I mean, you can come to me for homework if you want. So that's no problem. And get the tutor's signature when you're done with it as well.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What if we go on
Still get the tutor's signature.
that?
It's best if you go in person though, and then they'll show you how to do it formally, you know?
Let's see, I've been working on just six.
Okay. Just give it to me before the final. Yeah.
What is the next test? Test?
It's a good question though. When we get closer to it, I'll let you know. Yeah. All right, so for this question, right? Did you guys get the answer? What's M1 and what's M2? Nobody finished? Okay. I'll let y'all try that out. In the interest of time, let me just look ahead real quick. What else we got? All right, I'm just gonna run through this one real quick because we running on time a little bit. So first thing you want to do, right? Remember, you want to distribute this. So I'm gonna have 2m squared times 2m times 3 is gonna be plus 6m plus 1 times m, which is just m, plus 1 times 3, which is 3, is equal to 12m. You want to combine like terms. So this becomes 2m squared plus 7m plus 3 is equal to 12m. After that, you want to subtract 12m from both sides. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So now let's look at what we have. We have 2m squared minus, oh boy, what's that? Like 5m plus 3 is equal to 0, right? And then let's factor this. Oh boy. What's this going to be? 2m. I'm sure y'all know how to do the AC method. Y'all could go through and do that real quick. This is going to be 3 negative plus 1 like that, right? That's going to be your factor. After that, just set both of these equal to 0. You're good to go, right? So 2m plus 1 equals 0. Subtract 1, subtract 1. 2m equals negative 1. Divide by 2, divide by 2. M equals negative 1 over 2. Now you have m minus 3 is equal to 0. Add 3, add 3. So m2 is equal to 3. Questions on that? Good. All right, let's keep it moving. Got a couple more things we got to do. First things first, shout out to my man Warren. All right. I know he wants some notes, so here y'all go. These are your notes for this. There y'all go. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do that. So this is how to factor trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c using the AC method. So first, you factor out any greatest common factor. Always you start with the greatest common factor, right? Step 2, find the product a times c. Step 3, find two numbers m and n such that m times n is equal to whatever a times c is, and m plus n is equal to your b term, right? Then you rewrite your equation, right? So splitting the middle term in with the m and the n, so it becomes ax squared plus mx plus nx plus c, factored by grouping, right? And then you have your two factors. And that's it. That's how you do the AC method. Right. And then of course, zero product property, set them both equal to 0, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. Ba, ba, ba. So in the interest of time, let me just show you this real quick. So we're going to be solving equations with polynomial functions, right? A little bit different of a topic. So as our study of polynomial functions continues, it will often be important to know when the function will have a certain value or what points lie on the graph of a function. Our work with the zero product property will help us to find these answers. So check out this question. For a function, f of x is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 2. They want us to find x when f of x is equal to 6. Look at this, right? This is my original function. F of x is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 2, right? So I'm telling you that f of x is equal to 6, and they want us to find the value of x. What does that mean? That means that 6 is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 2. You just set the function equal to 6. Questions on that part? That was the hard part. All right. After that, put all the numbers on one side, solve for the answer. That's it, right? So I'm going to subtract 6 from over here. 0 is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 8, right? Then you want to factor it, right? So this is going to be 0 is equal to, what's that? X plus 4, x minus 2. Y'all can do the AC method to figure that out, right? And then after that, you already know, set them both equal to 0. X plus 4 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0. Subtract 4, subtract 4. X1 equals negative 4. Add 2. Add 2. X2 is equal to positive 2, right? And those are my two answers right there. So that's the value of x when f of x is equal to 6, right? Part B says find 2 points that lie on the graph of the function, right? This is real simple. For part B, when they say find 2 points, here you go. When they say find 2 points, all you have to do is just plug in two values of x and that's it, right? So like, let's say that I want to plug in 0, right? So f of 0, you already know that's going to be equal to negative 2. How did I do that? F of 0 is equal to 0 squared plus 2 times 0 minus 2, which is just negative 2. Just plug in two values of x. That's simple, right? Let's say if I want to do f of 1, right? Let's see what that answer would be, right? So that's going to be f of 1 is equal to 1 squared plus 2 times 1 minus 2. So that's 1 plus 2 minus 2. So the answer is just 1. Boom. So what 2 points lie on the graph? The point 0 comma negative 2 and the point 1 comma 1. That's it. Questions on that? So when they ask you, give me 2 points that lie on the graph, find two x values and plug it in. You could plug in whatever x value you want, right? I'm just plugging in 0 and 1 because that's easy math, right? But if you want to plug in 1,000 and 1,225, go ahead. The answer's right, you know? All right, so that's that for this question. So let me show y'all like two more things. Let's see, time is going. And this will help you on your homework as well. So the zero product property also helps us determine where the function is 0. So a value of x where the function is 0 is called the 0 of the function, right? So 0 of a function is for any function f. If f of x is equal to 0, then x is the 0 of the function, all right? When f of x equals 0, the point x comma 0 is a point on the graph. This point is the x-intercept of the graph. It is often important to know where the graph of the function crosses the axis, right? So we will see some examples later. So check this out. For this function here, we have f of x is equal to 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. They ask us to find the zeros of the function, right? Any x-intercepts of the graph, any y-intercepts of the graph. All right, check this out, check this out, check this out. This is all you have to do, right? You have f of x is equal to 3x squared plus 10x minus 8, right? We're going to find the zeros of this function. That's going to answer A, B, and C all in one shot, right? First thing you want to do, right? Find f of 0. That's the easiest one of all, right? So you're just plugging in 0 for all the x's. So this is 3 times 0 squared plus 10 times 0 minus 8. And all of that becomes 0 plus 0 minus 8, which is just negative 8, right? This is your y-intercept, right? 0 comma negative 8. That's 1 point, right? This is also, so this is an answer for, this is an answer for A right here, this one, and this is the answer for C. All right? A little bit harder now, a little bit harder now, right? Taking the original function, set the original function equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. In this scenario, we're going to be solving for x, right? When I find these two values of x, these are going to be my x-intercepts. This will be the answer for B and A at the same time, all right? So what you want to do, you want to factor this. Oh boy, what's this going to be? 3x, x. Y'all can use the AC method to figure this out, all right? I'm just going to do this in my head real quick. So 3x, let's see. So I'm thinking +4, -2, something like that. That looks right. Yeah. All right. Equals 0. Set both of these equal to 0. I have 3x minus 2 equals 0 and x plus 4 equals 0. I'm going to add 2, add 2. So I have 3x is equal to 2, divide by 3, divide by 3. All right. So x1 is equal to 2 over 3. Over here, I'm going to subtract 4. What I do to one side, do to the other. So x2 is equal to -4. These are your answers for part A. Those are the zeros, right, of the function. But the points that they correspond to are 2 over 3 comma 0 and -4 comma 0, right? These are the x-intercepts of your function. And these are zeros of your function, right? This right here, this is your y-intercept. And this is a 0. All right. Questions on this? So basically, you plug in 0 for one, you set the whole function equal to 0 for the other. Come out with 3 answers. That answers everything. All right. Some of your answers in when you're doing your homework, they might say, oh, what is a 0? The 0 is going to be x equals something or y equals something, right? They might say, oh, give me the point or give me the x-intercepts or the y-intercept. That's what these points are here, the ones that have the parentheses around them. All right. So it'll tell you on the homework what they're looking for, right? But just know if they're asking for a 0, they're asking for a single number. If they're asking for an intercept, right, it's going to be in the parentheses. All right. Yep. Go ahead.
So, right,
Mm-hmm.
that's Excel.
Say it again.
We're using Excel
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
and when you keep the screen, like everything that you
Mhm.
write, you do paste.
Oh no, I deleted.
But it's,
Yeah.
can you save it?
I could save it. Yeah. I don't though.
That's actually really good, like, you
Yeah.
know, like for people like me, have to really pay attention.
Gotcha.
It's better for me to focus on what you're doing.
But I'm recording it. So
Yeah.
you can like watch on YouTube, click play, pause, and just screenshot it from YouTube. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how to watch YouTube in a second. All right.
I know that if you put it in YouTube,
Mhm.
YouTube has the Gemini option and it has to summarize.
Yes.
But
Mhm.
you are putting you're pasting, the other information on the tab.
The questions,
the
yeah.
exam,
Mhm.
easier, like for instance,
Okay.
see there that you have one question with 3 different phrases for one exercise. So it will be good for me to see and to familiarize myself. So it's like going
Okay.
into the entire world,
Okay.
I would say. But if you can, I understand.
Okay. If you want it, I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
All right. Last topic, real quick, because I know time is going against us, right? Sorry about that. Pacing issues. Anyway, so we're going to be solving applications modeled by polynomial equations, right? It's the last topic. So this question says the product of two consecutive odd integers is 323. Find those integers, right? So what does that mean, right? That means that if I have two, I'm gonna have two integers, right? Let's call it n and n plus one, right? They're consecutive, right? When I multiply them together, I get out 323. I want to figure out what those two integers are. So easy, right? Distribute n squared plus n is equal to 323, right? Subtract 323. And you're good to go. You have n squared plus n minus 323 equals 0. And that's it. You could just factor that. But you know what? Hold on. I didn't read it too carefully. This word right here. I looked over that word odd, right? So I actually made a little boo-boo in this. Let me just erase real quick. Let me do this one more time. Because I made a little boo-boo. Let me try this again. Let me try this again. All right. So they're consecutive odd integers, right? So let me give you guys an example. Consecutive odd integers. So that's like 1 and then 3, right? Not like 1 and then 2. So the way that I wrote it before when I said n and n plus 1, that's like 1 and 2. This is more like 1 and then 3. So this should actually be n times n plus 2, right? If I was going to get 1 and then 3, right? So multiply those together and you get 323. All right, after that, it's the same, right? Distribute n squared plus 2n equals 323, right? Subtract 323. And then you have n squared plus 2n minus 323 equals 0, right? So now what I want to do, I want to figure out, right? Two numbers that multiply to give me 323. Not even gonna hold y'all. I don't know. 323 is a hell of a number, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start breaking it down by prime numbers, right? Remember our prime factorization tree, right? So let's see. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 3, that's like what, 8? So it's not divisible by 3. I know that. So I'm just gonna start big. Let me see 11. All right. 323 divided by 11. How's that looking? Nope, that's not it. How about 13? 323 divided by 13. How are we looking? Nope, that's not it. Can't be 14, can't be 15, 16, no. How about 17? Let's try that.
Yeah.
323 divided by 17. You got it? 19? All right, so 17 and 19. All right. But look at this though, right? If I subtract 17 and 19, I get 2. Perfect. So you already know what this is going to be, right? This is n. This is n equals 0, right? It's positive 2, so this is going to be plus 19 minus 17. And you already know, right? Set them equal to 0, n plus 19 equals 0, n minus 17 equals 0, subtract 19, n equals negative 19, add 17, right? N equals positive 17, right? Now, of course, in this situation, we're going to have to test these numbers out because we don't know if they work or not. right? So looking back at the original formula, right? N times n plus 2 is 327. Let's see. So if I have negative 19 times negative 19 plus 2, that's the original question, right? Do I get 323? Well, let's see. This becomes negative 19 times negative 17, right? And does that equal 323? It certainly does. 323 is equal to 323. We're good to go. Let's try out 17. So 17 times 17 plus 2, does that equal to 323? Right? So this becomes 17 times 19, right? Does that equal 323? Most definitely does. 323 equals 323. And that's it. So what are my consecutive numbers? They're 17 and 19, right? Um, I should say and because it's two sets of them, right? And negative 19 and negative 17. So these would be my answers for this question. All right. Any questions on this? So if they say consecutive odd integers, n times n plus 2. Consecutive integers, n times n plus 1. In a nutshell, equals whatever number they give you. And then you just do the math on that. All right. Don't want to do this. All right, let's take a look at this. Last question, last question. A little bit of a word problem. All right. So a rectangular room, just like our classroom actually, right, has an area of 117 square feet, right? The length of the bedroom is 4 more feet, excuse me, is 4 feet more than the width. All right. So here we go. Let's call this the length. Let's call this the width, right? And they said that the length of the bedroom is means equal 4 feet more than the width, right? So whatever the width is plus 4, right? And then it says find the length and width of the bedroom, right? Now you know to get the square feet, you multiply length times, right? Area for rectangle is equal to length times width, right? Now we know what the area is. We know it's 117. We know what the length is. It's actually W plus 4. And we know what the width is. That's just W. Light work. Distribute.
W plus 4, but then one have W.
That's what I want to find. Right. So we're just going to solve for it, right? Distribute the W. So now we have W squared plus 4W. Subtract the 117. So now 0 is equal to W squared plus 4W minus 117. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I don't know. It's 117. Let's hit that tree now, right? So I'm gonna do it over here. So I got 117 divided by, let's try, well, let me see. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus, let's divide it by 3. There we go. All right, so that's 3, that's 39, that's 3, and that's 13. Not bad, not bad, not bad, right? So we need to get to 4. How we want to do this now? That's 9, right? Yeah, it's 9. So 0 is equal to W minus 9 times W plus 13, right? There we go. That's the 4. All right. You already know the deal, right? We're going to set these both equal to 0. W minus 9 equals 0. Add 9. Add 9. W is equal to 9. And we have W plus 13 is equal to 0. Subtract 13. Subtract 13. So W is equal to negative 13. It does not make sense to have negative width to your bedroom, right? So there goes your answer. W is equal to 9, right? So if W is equal to 9, then the length of your room is going to be what? 9 plus 4, call that 13. That's it. Questions on this? If anybody want to switch to architecture after the class, this is the beginning of it. Right? Go build some houses. All right. We went a little fast today, especially at the end. So make sure you guys review this video. All right. Come sign out when you're done. Remember what I told you guys about the test, all right? Bring it to tutoring, get it all correct, bring it back. I'll give you back half the points that you missed, all right? Not with me. You can do your test corrections with any other tutor but me, all right? Oh, got to tell y'all, Thursday, right? Tutoring is opening up late, not gonna open up till 2 p.m. on this Thursday. That's not forever, that's just this Thursday. All right? It's all right. It happens. It's not bad though. You got better than 40.
It's not like 80, 90, no, it's
I mean, it gets better though.
I need it.
Can I take this down, everybody? All right, no objections. All right, I'm gonna take this down. Appreciate y'all.
How big the